You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show. Quick reminder that there are several ways to tune in, listen, and watch our shows. You can join us on our radio station, What Up Baltimore Online Radio. You can also check out our podcast under LadyJ Media, or you can watch us on YouTube at What Up Baltimore TV, the People Station. And guess what? We're even on Twitter. You can watch us live. What Up Baltimore TV. Check us out on IG as well, and our Facebook page, What Up Baltimore and What Up Baltimore Online Radio. There's no excuse for you not to tune in. Hey, my name is Lady J, and I'm the owner of LadyJ Media, Buddafly Entertainment. Now, don't go anywhere because we have some really great shows coming up for you. I'd like to invite you to be a part of LadyJ Media. If you want to have a show, let me know. My number is 443-297-4753, or you can email me at ladyjwub@gmail.com. That's ladyjwub@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow that butterfly because you never know where she's going to land. You're tuned in to SpitFire Poetry with John Hansboro. John?
All right. Hey. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SpitFire Poetry Shutdown. This is episode number 3. Man, it is great to be back. We got my man on here, Michael Watkins. I call him he's got so many different nicknames. He's one of the I've heard Mike a number of years ago, and I've still been moved by the words that he says. This is a great poet. Always supports me in what I'm doing. Like I said, awesome poet, man. We're gonna get right into the show. It's Michael Watkins. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. This COVID, I'm just doing good, man. I'm not making no noise. I'm just creeping along, and matter of fact, I'm just supporting what you got going on.
Right, you always do. I appreciate you for that, man. I really do. So we just gonna go right into it, man. My man Mike's gonna share a couple of pieces with you guys. Before we get started, my other brother in the house. What's going on, King? How you doing, bro?
Blast for the past. How y'all doing, man?
Man, good, man. It's
I'm
good to see
good.
it. It's good to see the band back
Awesome.
together, man.
Awesome, man.
um, hey, before we get started, I want to send our prayers out to our brother Joshua Young. He lives in Houston, Texas. He's a part of the SpitFire family as well. So keep him in your prayers. He's doing really well right now. I spoke with him yesterday, but he's doing well, but just keep him in your prayers. So without further ado, SpitFire Poetry Shutdown is available on Amazon right now. And also Unusual Favor is also available on Amazon. Be sure to pick those up. You can get the links on any one of my social media sites. All right. Like I say, these are my brothers here. These are some wonderful poets. So we're going to start off with Michael. We're going to start off with Michael and let you just go ahead and do your thing. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Well, so we'll just we'll go like this. Can y'all hear me good?
Absolutely. Good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go like this. Jesus, speak to me spiritually. I know you're closer to me than my arteries, and your universal spirit is a part of my spiritual anatomy. That's why if I could give you an award, I would give you the Academy. For example, when it rains in my life, you cover me with your spiritual canopy. In addition, if my mind goes to the left, then I'm brought right back to sanity. Therefore, I plan to be a lifetime member in your spiritual family. So you may have to pardon me when that spirit starts with me. Christ made me an official honoree to spread the gospel through this form of poetry. Jesus speaks to me and he oversees all of my spiritual victories when I'm fighting against all of my spiritual enemies. So internally, Christ speaks to me. Thus, I'll instrumentally send up some praise since your name is quintessentially synonymous with my growth as you developmentally work on my spirit incrementally. Like some things in my life I want, I cannot have. If Christ is not involved, it will not last. Storms in my life, this too shall pass. Remember, broad is the way on that destructive path. Anything Satan gives you, it's straight up trash. That's why I'm putting 93 in my spirit. That's called premium gas. And I'm talking from scripture to prayer. Praise the meditation. When Jesus speaks to me, that's my spiritual medication, like aspirin, Excedrin, Pepto, and Malox. When the war's on, I got my spiritual guns cocked with the teachers of Jesus, Peter, Paul, and James. If the enemy comes on my block, I'm taking spiritual aim, and I'm shooting from Genesis to Revelations, Revelations back to Genesis. Let me warn you, enemy, you don't belong on these premises, or I'm calling on my Father, and he's coming to handle this. So let me give you fair warning, because I want you to remember this, not to touch God's anointed to do his prophet harm. You coming after my body, but my spirit is strong. You know that fate that you're going to meet, I wish that on no man. If I call on them angels, they coming and they not playing. With that sword in their left and that word in their right hand. When Jesus speaks to me, you're going to get yourself caught up in a tight jam. Amen.
All right, my man. Great as always, man. Great as always, Mike. You know, you are. I know I told you this once before a few years ago, man. But you definitely was one of the ones that inspired me to even come out more of what I'm doing, man. I must say, I really do.
I'm happy that you're doing it. You got 2 books now.
Yes, sir, man. God is good, bro. You already know. All right, we're gonna let my man Kevin Curry put it down next. How you doing, Kev?
Man, I can't complain at all, my brother.
All right, my man. Whenever you're ready, I know you got some fire too.
Man, first of all, I want to thank you both you brothers, man. Y'all looking good, man. Here we are, a year into this pandemic, and God is good. Right. Listen, man, everybody continue to do what you do, and in this time, we got to remember sometimes time flies. So let me let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this piece is called Time Flies. Time flies by fast when you're having fun. But look around. Who's really having fun? Time ticking away, flying by fast. Dear world, you got a minute? How long will you last? You know the young, they die fast. Check out their motto, microwave generation. Want everything today. I step on anybody who get in my way. I want to be a star. I don't care about tomorrow. Time flies. Do what you got to do. Because nobody in my hood ever hit the lotto. Yet the spirit of poverty is more than monetary, keeping minds bottled. So where's my 3 wishes? Because in the ghetto, it seemed like we got death wishes. No genie, no bottle. Tonight, when my face hit the pillow, only God knows. Those who roll on my block, they don't care if you a star. They'll pop you today and laugh about it tomorrow. Time flies. So many kids overdosed. Hello, getting high. Premature souls unfed, weighing ounces. That's how they died. Here's the antidote to help us cope. To the head, we take poison, 40 ounces. They only pacify, but never wash away sorrows. How many lives sucked away like aborted babies with no milk from the demon in the bottle? Time flies. Everybody living life for the day. Dead bodies bleed all over the page. If the streets could talk, what would they say? What lies did they write? Got my hands up. Don't shoot. When they chose to take the law into their own hands. No police report. How many people every day get sprayed? Police brutality. This is our reality. They got us like roaches running from the rain. Time flies. Tired of all their scapegoats. Speak up. No time for the sheep to be silent. Tired of all the cop-outs. Not all cops are bad. Yes, but you're a witness to a crime, partner. On our taxpayer dimes, partner. So yes, where's the justice? But it don't stop there. We killing each other. Where's your conscience? Selling dope to your brother, prostituting your sister, from the soul to the body. We murder one another. Don't want to say when we wrong, easier to blame everything on the system. But there used to be a system of unity. And there also used to be a system where it was against the law to read, write, and vote. Now you mad, ungrateful, don't want to go to school, disagreeing with what the words of your teacher wrote. Time flies. They used to run on the Underground Railroads, hoping to find freedom. All night long they would pray for a chance to spend 1 penny from the opportunities we have today. Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves. God did. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Time flies.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna keep the fire going, man. For the people who checking it out, we're gonna keep giving it to them. Mike, you got something else? We want to let you go ahead and drop a couple more if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was gonna drop something.
You know what?
You up next, John.
Yeah, let's
the three amigos on this one.
That's right. Let me do one break real fast. This is one of my favorite ones. Okay. I heard him say all of that shouting isn't necessary. But what if they been through this colder than that month of February? I'm talking about news that'll make your body ache. And it's out of your control, so you feel you gotta participate. It was all good just a week ago. Now I'm in a doctor's office and they planning my treatment though. My work has come to a halt, but my bills, they longer than a tree stump. I stand in line for aid and assistance. All the while I feel I'm losing my existence. The lady behind that desk look at me as a stereotype, not realizing 96 hours prior, I ran a work site. I feel like my back's against the wall, so I pick up the phone, but who do I call? I was stripped of everything with nothing to spare. As I laid on that cold, hard table and stared in the air, Lord, is this it? Will I see my wife and kids again? If I die and my babies cry, who will make them grin again? My life was saved, though it was full of sin. My doctor said, take a few of these and your pain to come to an end. But no, I must keep going. It's no time to break. But my back's against the wall. And the devil don't hesitate. When he came to me to convince me of my fate, I refused to be a victim and told him, clown, you too late. When I realized who brought me through it all, my vision, it became clear as he showed me a picture of it all. He said, son, didn't I tell you I would never let you fall? It was then I decided to serve him in the midst of it all. So if you see me go crazy or start to bang on a wall, it's my way of praising him because he brought me through it all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna rotate this thing around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
we're gonna rotate it. Let's you know how we do in the day, back in the day. Come on,
that's
man.
Right. That's right.
Okay. You did that. Let me okay. As I go to the depths of silence to meditate on the words of grace, I'm thanking you for your goodness and how you continue to keep me safe. Even when I was going through my worldly exploration, Jesus, my physician, giving me that spiritual examination. My lifestyle was cancer and it was growing inside of me. The Lord, my medicine, he came with some of that chemotherapy. I rejected the treatment. I wasn't ready for my journey. So God had to rush me to the ER on his spiritual journey. Took my vital signs and my body was growing cold. Jesus had to do an x-ray because something was wrong with my soul. I was so screwed up. He said, first, where shall I start? Let me do an examination on your unforgiving heart. After that assessment, I was prepped for an emergency operation. I still was fighting his presence. That's why I had so many other complications. The surgery took hours, days, and a whole lot of years. It took me drugs, violence, blood, sweat, and it took me some tears. But when I came to my senses, Jesus put me into recovery. He said, the rest is up to you. You have to walk into your destiny. I still did not realize what was going on in my life until that light bulb came on and said, you have to surrender to Christ. That's when I started to go through my spiritual rehabilitation. God put things in my life so I can go through my spiritual maturation. Like some people in my life, I had to discard. I had to sit down and study the words of the living God. I had to practice so I can implement this process in my growth, telling people about Jesus because he's that ray of hope. Whatever is hindering you, send up your supplications. God will come and see about you since he's the master of creation. Anytime he can feed 5,000, make blind people see, raise up the dead, and still have enough for you and me. I have no other alternatives but to send up some praise. Kept me 6 feet above this earth. Mike should have been lying in his grave. There's no books in the library or in the encyclopedia, no television shows or any other forms of media to display your awesome, astonishing, breathtaking, wondrous, magnificent show of affection. Thank you for allowing me to plug into your spiritual connection. Amen.
I love it, man.
You know what, Mike? I'm gonna pause for a second, man. I want to chop some of this up, brother. What inspired you to when you wrote that piece? I mean, you're talking about there's a lot there. You know, unpack a little bit of as far as just the gurney and just the transformation from where you were at the start of it to the end. Talk to us, brother. Take us behind the scenes on that one, brother.
Okay, so basically, what it did was my life. Okay, basically my life was like it was like an emergency, and I needed that ambulance. So he rolled me to the ER on his spiritual journey. It wasn't a physical operation. It was a spiritual operation that God did in my life, and the spiritual operation when he did it, I was locked up. Wow. I was locked up. I was incarcerated. You know, and matter of fact, the paddy wagon took me. Like the paddy wagon was my gurney. I didn't know it at the time. You see what I'm saying? When I say you know, until that light bulb came on.
That light bulb came on, yeah.
I had to surrender to Christ. I didn't know, I didn't understand it at first. And when I came home, I still didn't understand it until I started going to church and understanding that, man, God operated on me, operated on my spirit, man. And I had to understand that I had to have that unforgiving heart. You know, that was my problem. You know, and the biggest forgiveness I had to do, it was for myself. I had to forgive me for doing what I did to myself.
Right.
You know, that's where it stemmed from.
Is poetry a form of therapy for you too, Mike? Like, because it's therapy for me.
Yes, Lord. This is basically, I used to work at a Dish Network. My tool bag was messed up. I said, if I didn't have poetry, I wouldn't have no job. I'm just saying that. See, it keeps me sane.
Right.
Writing just keeps me sane.
I definitely feel that. I feel the same way, man. A lot of the stuff that I write is sometimes stuff that I'm going through. I could be in a situation and it just starts, you know what I mean? Just starts fluttering my brain, and I just grab the pencil and just go ahead and just go for what I know, man. Put it all down.
Yeah.
It's like I agree, guys, as a fellow poet, it's like a journal really too, you know, getting some things out, you know, releasing what's in the moment, like you letting it out, man, and just keeping it flowing. And I agree with what you guys said. There's something kind of therapeutic about that, man.
Definitely, especially in these times, man. We need it. We need all we can get, you know, spirituality, everything, you know, everything. This is a crazy time right now, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so my man Kevin Curry, I know you got something for me, man. What you got?
Yeah, I was working on a piece. I'm gonna go ahead and spin with it. It's called "Oh Respect, Where Have You Gone?" Yeah, let's get right into it. You said you love me. You said I do. In sickness and in health, to death do us part. Yet now you ignore me, taking advantage of me, have no time for me, place no honor on me. The dreams of a fruitful marriage you threw away like worthless leaves in the wind. What happened to for better or for worse? Your kiss is of a stranger. Jesus hurts. Oh, respect. Where have you gone? You birthed me. Took 9 hours to have me. Daddy left a long time ago, but now your new boyfriend you worship at any cost. Ooh. Family, we lost. Grandmama now become my mama. Broken promises, shattered dreams. My mama, my daddy, have you seen? Being a caregiver is a loving responsibility, not a regretful chore. I'm still waiting for love to walk through that door. Oh, respect. Where have you gone? I can hear your whispers. You say you love Jesus. So why do you bicker? Why do you fight? You smile in my face, but behind my back, your words cut like a knife. Change the way we eat, change the way we think, change the way we serve and love one another. See, I didn't choose you. And you right, you didn't choose me. But Christ chose us. Jesus is the head, all one body. We all have a part to play. Servanthood, unity, love. That's the only way. Oh, respect. Where have you gone? Is it too much to ask for $1 if I gave you 10? Is it too much to ask for your prayers to keep you from sin? Is it too much to ask to gather one day in my house of praise? Don't I supply the air that you breathe each and every day? I protect you from the wolves. So my sheep, why do you huff and puff? If I be for you and you build your house on my word, who could blow it down? Though I dwell in human temples, those that were lost but now are found.
Oh.
I ask you for more time. You say you have none. I ask you to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, shelter the homeless. You say, wait, Lord, my harvest hasn't yet come. I loved you so much, I sacrificed my own son. I ask you to love your neighbor as yourself. You say, why, Father? They not like me. They not a Christian. Oh, respect. Where have you gone?
Oh. Okay.
Man,
You had me for a minute. I was thinking one thing, and you did something totally different.
Yeah, I like how you flip that. I do. I like how you flip
Hello?
that. I like how you flip that.
Yeah.
All right, let me get in my book here and see what I can pull up. Well, this is called. See, I like when this is going on. My juices get going, man. This remind me when we was putting it down out in our glory days, man. Shout out to all the SpitFire family. Miss all you guys. All right, this is called Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete knock you off your feet. Today, socially is more than a cup of tea. Today is much faster than yesterday, doesn't matter. Everything comes quick like Superhead, man. No. We had encyclopedias. We had to read books for research. Hip hop from Cool Herc. Every tape deck was loaded with the best in old school rap, like Return of the Boom Bap, KRS-One with the knowledge. You dreamed of going to college. After a different world, they tried to make Bill legacy burn. I believe if they can't control you, they alter your folder, then they delete you, soldier. They want to control all our people and have them dumbed down, don't be equal. They keep you distracted with nonsense to keep you on the fence, then back to work again. Don't believe everything you hear, but don't turn a blind eye to what is happening today. Think outside the box. Don't stay tuned to Fox. Spend time with your children instead of media cruising. Can't control your children, but can use a remote control. Know all the shows, and it really shows when your child who knows all the characters and housewives, but can't count past 9. And you think it's put you on mute while I speak the youth to the young black youth. Save your money. Being broke ain't funny. Manage your money. Don't spend it all, dummy. Think of the children. Your children raise children with generations of wealth. It won't happen by itself. Sacrifice, put the work in. The words I have spoken don't come from a token. I have no uncles named Tom. I was taught to stand strong. I do this all night long. They want black men in thongs. You're a troublemaker if you're strong. And speak your mind all the time. Keep them tokens. They drop dimes. Controlling your mind, altering your time, then delete you. It's mine. So don't be controlled. Control or delete. Don't walk around sleep.
Wow.
You gotta unpack that, John.
Man, you know what? I wrote this so long ago, man, but I was well, the Control Alt Delete, we all three of us are old enough to remember, like that was at one point, wasn't that how we used to open up computers or something like that? Like the screens or something? I remember doing a lot of Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, to be able to sign in.
Yeah. And I wrote this, I believe, like 2014 or 15. And I just put a lot of stuff together, man, basically. You know what I mean? With the Control Alt Delete, though, I was just trying to say, use your own mind, though. You know what I mean? Think outside the box. Don't just, we in this age, man. It's all about these phones and you know what I mean? Just stuck in some type of screen, looking at stuff all day, you know what I mean? And I was thinking one day about how much time we spend in our phones throughout our whole lifetime. I bet you it would blow our mind if we were able to get the calculations together to see how much time you actually spend doing that. It'll probably blow our mind because we spend a lot of time on that. You know what I mean? Some people can't even. I try to practice just putting it over there somewhere, but I don't have something to do. Just put it away and let it sit there, you know, until it rings or whatever. I'm gonna let who was next? I think Kevin next, right?
No, I got Mike's next, but I wanted to make a comment on that real quick, man. I appreciate those because you also talked about at the end falling asleep, you know, and I think it makes sense, brother, because the whole Control Alt Delete in the generation that we're in, you know, there's so much trying to control your time, your mind. There's so much information,
right? But
you're saying, listen, some of it's good, some of it's not. You got to be able to alternate, figure out what's what, and you got to delete what's delete. Like Grandma said, you know, go ahead and get the meat and spit out the bones.
Right.
You know, it's all coming together. You know, so just trying to make people be independent thinkers, not just going off of what's regurgitated out there, but to kind of look at their principles and values and don't let the day of the time or any culture kind of sway their own core. You know, roll with what you feel is right for you, and you and your family and your code of ethics and that kind of thing. And don't, you know, always popular opinion ain't always the right opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Mike, we're gonna go ahead with you next.
All right. So we're gonna do it like this. Do not believe them lies that's being broadcasted live. When I look in your face, I see greatness in your eyes. Christ is the captain of our spiritual team as we pray, stay focused, and live out our dreams. Hard work and dedication can take you far in this life. So don't shortchange yourself. You be a star in this life. Upon visualizing the totals of what we can be, nothing shall be impossible for us to achieve. Greatness comes to mind in various degrees. Anything can be accomplished if you have the will to believe. All that we desire has already been birthed into us. So we have to let go and let that spirit work in through us. The road may get tough, but God is enough. Focus on your vision and don't worry about that other stuff. Because life is what you make, so make your life right. Shine in the darkness as that beacon of light. And don't worry about others talking about you because half of them can't do what you're about to do. So when you go out into the world, I want you to juxtaposition. And what I'm trying to say is just change the position with a different vision and a different mission. However, along with that, you're going to get some different opposition. And I'm talking about you're going to have some haters and enemies. But that's just jealousy. Believe and stay focused with positive energy. Make God your remedy. Make love your recipe. Soar like an eagle since greatness is your pedigree. Success is your destiny. You live out your legacy. You can be what you want to be when you use your mind as your weaponry. But before I end, the Creator made this all possible. Gave us the strength to hurdle any obstacle. Nothing is impossible. People be unstoppable. Go to your highest and reach for your optimal. I don't care who watching you. Ain't none of them topping you when you stay on your Christ game. How are they stopping you? So remember, whatever you do, when you're looking for greatness, you can find it in you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mike, I want to chop that. That's interesting. You say when you're looking for greatness, you can find it in you. You know, that piece is really needed, man, at this time, especially with self-esteem and people knowing who they are. Man, talk to us a little bit about your inspiration about it.
Well, it was actually done for my daughter's graduation, her graduation class. But I'm using it now for basically motivation.
Right.
It's basically for motivation for people, because a lot of times people looking for greatness outside of themselves and not realizing if you look in the mirror, you can see greatness in you. Yeah, right. If you believe in God, why can't you believe in yourself? Because if God, see in Genesis, he said, I breathe the breath of life into man. So if God breathed the breath of life into you, that means he breathed his spirit into you. So the thing is, if you're looking for greatness, if you can't find greatness in yourself, how can you find it anywhere else?
Right.
You got to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. Because it's basically, it's like a moot point. If you don't love you, how can you say you really love somebody and you don't love yourself? It's impossible. That's why I came up. That's why I came, and that's why I say it with enthusiasm and passion. Because you know what enthusiasm means is the Greek word entheos, meaning God in you. It enthusiasm. When I recite with enthusiasm, because I'm reciting what God has instilled in me. That's all. Greatness,
and you kind of feel the emotion behind, which I really appreciate. Is like you're stepping in the shoes of that motion, that drive, that the thing you're declaring. You know, it's like you're taking on that essence of it, man, in the heart. So it's like, yeah, no doubt, bro.
Right.
Tell you, man, God is
it's definitely a lot of stuff that we do is heartfelt. Definitely, you know what I mean. It's definitely heartfelt. So I'm going to share this other one. This is called "Don't Answer the Phone." This is called "Don't Answer the Phone." These two poems that I just recited, they're in SpitFire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1. Like I said, you can get that on Amazon. I appreciate and love the support. Thank you all who support what I do. I really appreciate you guys. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the phone when you know it's a clone of the conversation you already had. It'll just make you mad. If it's important, they will message you via voicemail or text. If you don't control your stress, in the end, you a mess. Take time for oneself. Put your worries on the shelf and play the hand you are dealt. You don't have to answer. Sway, hunch your shoulders and fade away. Don't answer the phone because they don't want nothing. Don't feel like hearing fussing. It breaks down your construction. Stability is not set if the foundation is wet. Stick to your blueprint. Build an obstruction that will bend but don't break. And you can play it, and you can't play it safe. Beware of your space. Don't answer the phone to social medias. How was your kid's day? Who cares who's trending? Your kids are here. On you, they dependent. You're facing the phone and they all left alone. Why are you mad, bro? I know if the shoe fits, it shows. Shoot this messenger, though. Something come back at you could change your stature. Don't answer the phone. I'll yell to my kids. And no, you can't hold it. Use your tablet on one of these gadgets. I spend all that money. Next year, I buy nothing. Don't answer the phone. Why? Because I don't know the number. It could be your mother, but I just hung up with her. It's probably a telemarketer. They never know when to call you. Let it go to voicemail. I'm driving and can't answer. The phones are like cancer. They disturb everything. Every single time it rings. Don't answer the phone. Can't dump your trash on me. Leave a message after the beep. Don't answer the phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
What I want to know where that inspiration came from.
Yeah, that was that.
What inspired you?
Man, that came from doing a lot and doing a lot yourself and then trying to do a lot for everybody else too at times, you know what I mean? And just not taking time for yourself. So I've learned through therapy to not be apologetic about how I get my peace. And sometimes I have to turn my phone completely off, bro, because I don't even want to hear a message. I don't want to hear nothing. If I'm at that point, I'll turn my phone completely off. I may turn on the television, go on YouTube and listen to a meditation app and just lay there for a minute, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then I get back in the game, you know, get back out there, you know.
So you saying turning your phone off will take you to that peaceful transition in your life.
Sometimes it does. Only when I'm very like if I'm under a lot of pressure or I'm stressed at that moment. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even want to deal with it. You know, I just set the phone aside. You know what I mean? Because I'm constantly I try to promote all the time and share stuff. So I'll share my stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and then I get right off. Sometimes I don't even want to look because it's some stuff that's positive, then there's some stuff I can't, you know. I don't want to look at because it may get on my nerves, or it may be honest with you, it may even put me in a depression. Like this time that we in, man, I'm telling you, you got to be strong. You know what I mean? You got to be real strong out here. And with writing, that's my, you know, like you say, Mike, that's how I keep my sanity. Writing is it. That's the only way I keep my sanity. You know what I mean? At one of my worst times in my life is when I wrote this book right here. That was one of my worst times in my life. And still, when I look back, I'm like, how was I able to write that still in the midst of some of the stuff that I was going through? I was hot, you know what I mean? I was able to sit down. I started writing my poetry that I put in these books in my laundry room in my basement. I was just in the laundry room and then, you know, sitting down there at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? You done wrote maybe 2 poems, you're reciting it over and over and over. So that was a form of therapy for me, definitely, to get through a lot of things that I dealt with in my life, definitely.
Do you find that too, John? Like during this time where there's a little bit more, I mean, we're definitely social distancing, but really trying to stay socially connected, right?
Right.
But do you find that you need to even do that even more now, having an outlet in your private time because you have a lot of more time like that?
Absolutely, man. I do write even more now than I think I've ever done before. You know what I mean? I even do the pocket poems now where I'll carry one in my pocket all day just to try to memorize it. You know what I mean? And when I'm writing and especially when I'm writing, and you know, when you're writing something and it just clicks for you, like it's something that you just put together and you like, wow, it just clicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That to me is like, it's something like sometimes I could be writing something. My wife could be watching TV. I could be writing something and I'll just start saying thank you. I'll just start thanking God. And she'd be looking at me like, what are you doing? What's going on? You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, you don't even realize what I just wrote. I don't even know how I put it down. I really don't. It's a feeling. It's you know, emotion and all of that things come together. And once you put it down on paper and you can visualize it and see it, and then what really is the prize for me in this, man, is to see the reaction of people. I went to a couple churches. It was around in 2018. I was going to a couple churches doing some poetry and stuff like that, and that changed something to me, man, because seeing the reaction of some people, you know, you never know what somebody is going through, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would share a poem. One was called A New Day, and the other one is Press and A New Day. And I would share them at a lot of churches I went to, and you know, it would humble me that some of the stuff that people would say to me afterwards. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they don't even realize I was going through too. That's why I put it down. You know what I mean? But it made me realize that it helps. It can help somebody else. You know, it can definitely help somebody else. Definitely.
They say the same thing, I think, too, because I think most of us too, we like to put some of this stuff to rhythm, to music, to drums, and they talk about being in the pocket. And I'm sure you guys can identify with this. Sometimes when you're writing some stuff, it don't even matter if you rhyme. You know, you're talking about just being in the pocket of the emotion when it just feels right. I don't know if you guys know, you know what I'm saying? That line feels right. It feels authentic. You know, it feels organic. And sometimes you can even break some of the rules poetically because it just flows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you a question, Kevin. Since you said rules about poet, is it any rules in poetic and being in poetry? Is it really? I'm saying seriously, is it really any rules to it?
I don't really, to be quite honest with you, I throw it out there more as a generalization that people may say, hey, do it this way. But if you're asking me my opinion, I don't think there's any rules. I can look at a Langston Hughes piece and, you know, look at another piece and see the beauty in it, you know, and it's Maya Angelou, some of her pieces. I don't think there's any rules. I think at the end of the day, for me, poetry is I agree with that not to be a cliche when they say poetry in motion,
right?
But it's life. Life comes at you, man. Right. It's a motion picture and there ain't no dress rehearsals. You know what I'm saying? And pray to God you don't fade to black before your time is up. You know, the time, and when you say time is up, meaning the time to fulfill what you've been called to do on this earth, hoping you find it. And not doesn't have to be one thing, but several things. Your purpose, why are you here? What your gifts, talents, and abilities, and how you are being able to purposely walk out your destiny, express that like a butterfly. Here we are, butterfly, right? Butterfly. Express that in the world. So, but man, you ask my honest opinion, man. Like, I don't think there's anything. I mean, I think, you know, you have a gift and you now express that gift and you just be as authentic and real with it as you can. And that's it, man. I think that's what people are identifying with. And that's even past languages. I've listened to some poetry that was a different language or a song that was a different language. And I couldn't articulate every word, but I could definitely articulate the commonality in the meaning or the emotion behind it. Does that make sense? So it's things that move me when people are just in that pocket.
Yeah, like the rhythm of what they saying, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, you can identify with the rhythm, and I believe, man, it's your authenticity. See, like you recite your John recite his different, you recite yours different, I recite mine different. And the thing is, it works to get, this is why I asked the question, are there any rules to engagement? Because I don't really think it's rules in the thing, because everybody's reciting and they're going to one rule, but they getting there different, they getting to one spot, but they taking different routes to get there.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it to me, right?
That's what I love about poetry.
Yes,
that's what I love about the spoken word, because it's not like we're monolith. It's like we're not the same. You know, people be like, "Oh, no, it's not the same. It's totally different." So you gotta be attuned to what you like. You can hear the passion in people's voices, even though it's not rhyming. It's poetry.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you say, poetry and more.
Yeah.
It's definitely about getting that message out too. You know, it can be a lot of people are receptive to stuff like that. You know, look, guys, before we wind down, I just want to I want to get both of y'all to do one of my favorite poems that y'all do. I'm gonna give a shout out to Van. So happy. Thanks for supporting me, sis. Appreciate you. You always watching the shows. All right, Mike, you got a poem that you do that's called homicide or genocide?
I'll go.
Knock, knock. Who's at the door? Homicide.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I got it.
And right after you finish with that, my brother Kevin, I need you to do the purple.
Color purple. Can I do something called Who Am I? Somebody had wanted to hear that.
Yeah, do that. Okay, yeah, do that.
Okay.
Also, real quick, call in, guys. The call-in number is 443-297-4753. We're always looking for new poets to submit some stuff into the email. I'm sorry, to this number. And we can go from there. Michael Watkins. You know what I'm talking about? Homicide. I think it's called Homicide, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right.
All right.
So y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Knock, knock. Who is it? This is homicide. I have a picture of a young man that I want you to identify. His mother paused because he was slightly paralyzed. That can't be my son. He wasn't even 25. So the family mobilized because they was trying to get stabilized. All night long, they sat up and scrutinized. Why did my child have to go to the other side? You can hear loud screams because the hurt have been internalized. Why as you hear this mother vocalize, you know this type of mentality needs to be analyzed because the future of our children has already been jeopardized. Somehow or another, we have to get unified and we will continue to be a people that's demoralized. Our thinking has to change in this critical movement. That's the only way we will have any type of improvement. Our children are killing just for amusement. God give us the power so we can diffuse this. And that love that you give, we want to transfuse it into our community so our people can use it. Because deep in their hearts, they really not ruthless. They may be clueless, so we'll give them some newness. We be their teachers and they be our students. The objective of the day is a word called change. That's where we rearrange some information in your brain. Don't look at me strange. I want to help you maintain so you can remove some of them invisible chains. Don't be ashamed if you want to change. You can't continue to be a victim of pain. So let's ascertain the unexplained and become a child of God in Jesus' name. So I'll ask you once and I'll ask you again. Open up your heart so you can let Christ come in. Amen.
My man, I appreciate it, Mike. Kevin, what you got, bro? What you got?
I'm gonna put this piece on, man. Man, that was nice.
Yeah.
Like that was nice.
I'm like a kid in the candy store, man. I love it, man. I love it.
I love it.
You know, I'm gonna do this song, man, outside my window instead. It's a little similar though.
Okay.
This in this vibe, guys. You know, it's Black History Month and just trying to throw something out here to tell people, man, let's come together. Let's come together because Black history is American history.
That's right.
Let's just make that real clear.
That's right.
And we need to come together, man. We all bleed the same blood out here, man. We're going through different struggles, but as humanity. Outside my window, can you see what I see? Can you hear what I hear? I see angels around the sun, the star of Bethlehem shining through earthly vessels. They look like rainbows, full of many colors, different but the same. Souls have no color. Only what you do for Christ will last through the flame. Clothed in his glory, they remain. I hear you, Stevie. It's like ebony and ivory, together side by side, making harmony. I wonder how many minds are blind, trying to please everybody. And when you do, they still talk about you. Outside my window, can you see what I see? Can you hear what I hear? I'm trying to find my way through life's journey. Lord, when I'm weak, please carry me. I see his footprints, many fingerprints. The Lord loves diversity, especially when it's covered in unity. Yet I'd rather be celebrated than tolerated. It's not mandatory to agree. So if I disagree, don't fret. Do it peacefully. Words cut like a sword. Careful, watch what you speak. What's the motivation of the conversation? I'd better give a hug in silence than to correct with a self-righteous spirit of violence. The grace you have been given, remember, to give it back. Is your first response to heal or to attack? Outside my window, can you see what I see? Can you hear what I hear? Now tell me, what color is love? Is it blue? Is it yellow? Is it red? Is it green? All God's children, many shades, many colors, many cultures in between. Will we ever take time to hear from the heart? Not just quick glances from all the faces that we've seen. Embrace each other, not for the color of our race, but for the love of one another, the entire human race. Interracial, biracial. Who made these words? True love has no ratio. At times, this world could be so judgmental. I'm looking at babies. They call them mixed. I call them beautiful, precious mountains of joy. The little gifts that heaven sent outside my window. Can you see what I see? Can you hear what I hear?
Awesome, bro. Man, I want to thank both y'all for being on tonight, man. We definitely got to have y'all on again. You know what I mean? This is really good. I've been wondering how I was going to bring the SpitFire poetry, you know what I mean, virtually, and God's been working, man. So here we are today. So I appreciate you, brothers, man, for being on.
Thanks for having us. But thanks for
everyone. Follow these guys on social media: Michael Watkins and Kevin Curry. That's our show for tonight, people. Thanks for joining us. We will be back next month. I hope everybody is having a great Black History Month. Find somebody to school, get some youngster, man, and get in him or her head, you know, and let's help build this community. All right, my brothers, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all next time, bro. Be safe out here.
All right.
All right now.
Okay.
Wipe your tears away. How do I know? He wiped mine away. She sees her reflection in a pond of tears. Daddy gone, did he even care? Now she's a baby grown up, running to the arms of many men again and again and again. The perfect union, it didn't work. She craved the attention, so she wore the short skirt. They said they love you, but they lust for you. Sex, the only time they call you. Wake up, sister, what you gonna do? Life is more than the whistles and the screams. Life is more than jocking fellas for the cream. The way a man thinks, what you're willing to show, you're willing to share. Listen, my dear, you're dressed from your toes to your hair. You're more than a body. What about your soul? The Lord is calling to make you whole. What about your soul? Soul. Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears. All she ever wanted was be with me love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. True love hasn't come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears.
How many men walked out the back door? How many times your heart hit the floor? Here comes the lie, attacking self-esteem. Nobody wants me, nobody loves me. But God chose you, and He loves you so much. His Son died for you. What Daddy did had nothing to do with you. What Mama said wasn't even about you. And those men, they had their own issues. Don't play the blame game. Learn to love you. Don't have a baby just for someone to love you. Live a life more than about you. Do for others, serve others. Rest in the Lord when it seems you can't take it. Live where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Give God your dreams, sweetie. You can make it. You can make it.
All I ever wanted was to know who I was. Love hasn't come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears. All she ever wanted was be with me love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. Love hasn't come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears.
Lord, it's me standing on the side of the street. Mama say, come to me. Give me some sugar kisses, no candy. It's invisible. It's gonna say visible. Falling on the mama in a trash bag full of clothes. Enough to make a grown man cry. Looking at the little boy inside. The angel of the Lord stood by my side. Whispered in my ear, son, don't cry. A mother to the motherless, a father to the fatherless. Jesus, that's no lie. Mama drove off, man, time flies. Life's like a vapor. Next time I saw her, looked at my watch 13 years later. All is forgiven, don't worry, mama. I found myself in the face of my Savior. My Savior.
she ever wanted to be with you, love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. True love, heaven sent, comes from above.